Hey and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's begin with our daily news. Tierney discussed Arsenal's goal for the season. Arsenal defender Kieran Tierney has discussed their season and the Scotsman insists they want to win all the competitions they are playing in. Mikel Arteta's side has been eliminated from the Carabao Cup, but they topped the Premier League standings and had an impressive European campaign in the group stages. Despite falling to make the top 4 last season, the Gunners have been on a remarkable run of form, which now sees them seriously competing in a multiple competitions. Tierney tells The Sun the following: "We are in the hunt for everything, every competition. We want to go as far as possible, and the league's no different. We want to win everything we are taking part in. The boys have got a lot of confidence, but we also know how hard our league is to win. We need the right mindset to win trophies or matches, and Tierney seems to have it in abundance. Having been a member of the Celtic side that dominated Scottish football, the fullback knows what is required to sustain a title challenge. We expect him to be one of the leading voices in the dressing room at a critical time in the club's history. However, it's not enough to want to win. The team must put in the work required to achieve success." Sky reporter Dharmesh Sheth shares Jakub Kiwior update. Arsenal are finally up and running in the January transfer window. After the long-winded Mykhailo Mudryk saga, the Gunners didn't waste any time in looking elsewhere. Arsenal announced the signing of Leandro Trossard from Brighton on Friday, and by the looks of it, the Gunners will probably announce a second arrival in the coming days. The player in question is Jakub Kiwior, who plays for Serie A side Spezia and the Poland national team. Multiple sources have claimed that Arsenal have reached an agreement with the Italian outfit for their player. Next, Kiwior will reportedly be flying to London to sign the contract and complete the move to Arsenal. Sky Sports reporter Dharmesh Sheth provided an update on the deal. "Arsenal are close to signing the Spezia defender, Jakub Kiwior," he said on the transfer show. "The deal is worth £20 million and it has been agreed. The player is expected in the UK this weekend to discuss personal terms, which aren't expected to be a problem. He could be in attendance at the Emirates on Sunday. He's made 9 appearances for Poland and played in all of their games at the World Cup. Significantly, he is a left-sided defender. They are like gold dust in world football. Gabriel has played in all but one of Arsenal's games this season, and he will provide competition in the centre of defence." While Kiwior may not be a household name in England just yet, there have certainly been some rave reviews about him. One of those came from fellow Poland international and Barcelona ace Robert Lewandowski, one of the best strikers in the world. In September last year, Semper Milan quoted Lewandowski as saying, "I noticed him in the warm-up before the game and wondered who he was. Then I saw him in the game and I realized that he is an extraordinary player. He has enormous potential." The Kiwior news came out of nowhere really, but he looks like a top talent. There could well be more to come after him too, with Ivan Fresneda set to be a target for Arsenal too. Fair play to Edu and Mikel Arteta. Ivan Fresneda deal now closed thanks to Arteta. Arsenal have opened talks to sign Real Valladolid fullback Ivan Fresneda and are now in pole position to sign the youngster. Fresneda has been one of the most talked about names in the whole of the window. A host of clubs have been linked with Fresneda, including Arsenal, Real Madrid and Newcastle United. However, 90 Minute now reports that it's indeed Arsenal who are in talks to sign Fresneda ahead of the rest. It's reported that Mikel Arteta has personally spoken to Fresneda and his team in the hope he can push the deal over the line. Fresneda, who is still a teenager, is seen as one of Spain's best up-and-coming prospects. The Gunners, meanwhile, have been busy this month already and have moved to sign Leandro Trossard and Jakub Kiwior. Mikel Arteta is being backed by the Arsenal board. It comes as a reward for the Spaniard leading the Gunners to the top of the table. They go into this weekend's clash with Manchester United 5 points to the good over Man City. Fresneda, who has been dubbed a fantastic talent, will be expected to push on and develop at Arsenal if he does sign. There can be no question that the Croats are backing Mikel Arteta here at a time when they needed backing and more faces adding. The board seems to have come up trumps. Fresneda very much looks like an Arsenal player in the making. He has a bit of everything as a modern fullback, and it looks like very much like he is one Arteta wants. Arsenal are going for it. Trossard, Kiwior, and now Fresneda all show that, and if they beat United this weekend, then that title will seem closer than ever. Fabrizio Romano has taken to Twitter with the current state of play regarding Arsenal and Fresneda. He claimed that the player's agent will return to England next week for talks with the Gunners and Newcastle United. Romano also suggested that any move for Fresneda rests on whether Arsenal move Cedric Soares on. Arsenal target Youri Tielemans Manchester United stance could change, says journalist. Youri Tielemans has been heavily linked with a move to Arsenal and Manchester United for about a year now, and the Belgian is in the news once again. The Leicester City midfielder has entered the final 6 months of his contract. He is almost guaranteed to leave the Foxes either before the end of this month or in the summer when he will be a free agent. Arsenal and Manchester United have both been linked, and Tielemans could now be more open about to one of those two clubs than he was before. In last summer's transfer window, many believed Arsenal would sign Tielemans. The £25 million rated Belgian was so heavily linked with a move to the Emirates that Arsenal fans were convinced he would become a gunner. Sadly, no move materialized back then. Journalist Ben Jacobs has claimed that Manchester United have always been interested in signing Tielemans, but the Belgian didn't quite fancy a move to Old Trafford last summer because he thought Arsenal were keen to sign him. 6 months on now, things could change, especially as United's fortunes seem to have turned under Erik ten Hag. Jacobs told Give Me Sport. We know that Manchester United have had a long-standing interest in Youri Tielemans, but Tielemans was not that sold at a point when he thought that Arsenal were also very seriously at the table and may move a bit quicker. Now Manchester United are flying on the football field. It will be interesting to see whether that changed anything in Tielemans' perception of Manchester United. Tielemans will be a free agent in the summer. It seemed very likely that Arsenal would sign Tielemans last summer, but now it looks like the Gunners don't want him anymore. The Times reported a few days ago that Mikel Arteta's side have made West Ham United star Declan Rice their top target for the summer transfer window. The Englishman is up there with the best midfielders in the Premier League, and the fact that he is still just 24 means he will only get better in the coming years. If the option for Arsenal is between Tielemans and Rice, we are sure every supporter will pick Rice. That could give Manchester United a free run at the Belgian. Declan Rice amazed by what Arsenal have done this season and really wants to join them, says journalist. Declan Rice is excited by what Arsenal have achieved this season amid rumours that Mikel Arteta wants to sign him. Writing in his weekly Reading the Game column for The Independent, Miguel Delaney believes that the Gunners appeal to the England international. The Times reported this week that Arsenal have made Rice their top summer target and are confident of beating Chelsea to the punch now. The reported transfer fee required is £80 million, which would be a club record but less than the £150 million the Hammers were quoting last summer. Delaney wrote, Manchester United have also resurrected interest in Declan Rice, but that position is no longer a priority due to Casemiro's immense impact. That might be good timing for such a deal too, because Old Trafford would no longer be the player's first preference. Rice is captivated by what Arsenal are doing. It shows much has transformed at the club. As Delaney references, even at the start of the season, Arsenal would not have been seen as a viable destination for Rice. They have not been in the Champions League yet under Mikel Arteta, but at the halfway stage of the season, a top 4 spot is all but guaranteed already. By the time they step up their bidding for Rice, Arsenal may well have won the Premier League title and could well be the only London club offering Champions League football next season. That would make them a very attractive option for Rice, although it cannot be ruled out that Chelsea would come in with a monster offer and a huge contract to try and gazump the Gunners. Alan Hutton insists Arsenal's target Raphinha will suit them. Alan Hutton believes Raphinha will be a good signing for Arsenal, even though he doesn't seem to see a role for the Brazilian at the Emirates now. The Gunners wanted to add the winger to their squad in the summer, but he chose to move to Barcelona instead. The Catalans have a star-studded squad, so he has struggled to play for them in this campaign as much as he would have liked. The former Leeds United man is back on the radar of the Gunners after they missed out on the signing of Mykhailo Mudryk, but Arsenal has a very strong team and it will be hard for any new player to break into the side and bench one of the regulars now. That could be an issue Raphinha considers, but Hutton believes he will suit Arsenal. The ex-defender tells Football Insider the following: "When you think of the money that they are talking, he would fit in, but who do you take out? That's the problem for Arsenal. I think they are a little bit light, so they need reinforcement, and that's why they have gone for the players that they have recently. So I think he would be a really good addition. He knows the league as well, knows what it's all about, so I think it could be a good fit." A move for Raphinha makes a lot of sense because we need depth in attack and he will provide that for us almost immediately if he moves to the Emirates. However, if we cannot guarantee him a regular spot on the team, it will be hard to make the Brazilian join us. Gunners eye Eduardo Camavinga in shock loan swoop. Arsenal are continuing to plow on with their January transfer business and are now being linked with a shock move for Madrid's Eduardo Camavinga. The Gunners announced the signing of Leandro Trossard yesterday. They are also expected to land Jakub Kiwior from Spezia, while they remain keen on landing Ivan Fresneda from Real Valladolid. However, the Evening Standard has broken a story last night suggesting that Arsenal aren't done there. With that, it's claimed they are eyeing a move for Real Madrid and France star Eduardo Camavinga. News of a potential move will come as a shock, but the ES claims Arsenal fancy their chances of sealing a loan move. Camavinga has drifted in and out of proceedings for Madrid this season. That's prompted rumours over his future, with Arsenal apparently ready to swoop. Any deal would need the blessing of Carlo Ancelotti and the Madrid board. It remains to be seen how Madrid will react to such an approach. Los Blancos sold Martin Odegaard to Arsenal after a loan spell and will be wary of the same happening given Odegaard's success. Camavinga, dubbed incredibly energetic by Ancelotti, holds multiple French records. He became the youngest player to play. From there, he then became the youngest goal scorer as well. Surely, there is no way Real Madrid are letting Camavinga go out on loan at this stage of the season. It would appear to be madness, but Arsenal clearly think there is something there. Camavinga is one of the world's best young midfield players. Madrid paid around £34 million for him, but he is probably worth even more than that right now. If Arsenal somehow pulled this off, it would be sensational. Adding Camavinga as well as the other new signings would be remarkable business. I will be uploading daily Arsenal news show, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.